is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
The Padres have stunned the Mets in the first two. The captain of the Mets looks to turn the tide today. But it won't be easy as James Shields toes the rubber and tries to keep it going for the mighty Pods. Game 3 is next. Line down the left field line. This will head towards the left field corner. Cabrera's headed for third as Upton digs it out. They're going to try and score Cabrera. Throw from left field to the plate is going to be in time. Tonight is Game 3 from Petco Park in San Diego between the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, things are going very well for the Padres. A good night last night, and it started at the top of the Padres lineup with John Jay.
Boy, John Jay not only playing great defense, but also making some noise at the top of the lineup. We talk about Major League Baseball not really having a lot of prototypical lineup leadoff hitters. Well, John Jay is doing some great things last night. 3 for 4 with a double, the catalyst in that victory. And this season, look at the runners in scoring position. This is second in Major League Baseball. Why do you think those numbers are what they are? Because I think John Jay realizes that the pressure is on the pitcher. He doesn't get froggy and swing after bad pitches. He waits till the pitcher comes to him. He works a hitter's count, and he uses the whole field. I think that's another big key why you see those numbers.
Speaking of pitching, another good pitching matchup here tonight. James Shields fresh off his first win.
Well, last outing for James Shields, I think, was one of his better outings, and he really had the fastball working along with the changeup. But this guy's a competitor. He's going to leave it all out there. Watch the glove. He's got the two-seamer to the left. He's working in. Derek Norris was down and away, up and away. No matter how you look at it, James Shields against the lefties drops the changeup as well. But not only James Shields, but the Padres starters the last 8 games. A 1.64 ERA. Opponents only hitting 196. They're getting ahead, and they're putting them away.
The Padres have been very impressive against the reigning National League champion New York Mets, and tonight they're going to have to try to take on Bartolo Colon to get it done.
They're going to get strikes. They're going to get fastballs. You see the wins for Bartolo Colon, active pitchers. Hey, this guy is a competitor. He goes right after hitters. You're going to see a lot of fastballs, maybe a slider and a changeup mixed in as well.
So it is the Padres and the Mets. We'll talk gotta love glove. The defense has been stellar. Julie Alexandria will look into it next when we come back.
And he makes the catch. Takes a home run away from Matt Joyce.
Jay going back. John Jay will make the catch. Spectacular catch by John Jay. Back on the track, he reaches up and able to make the catch out there and right.
Some pretty spectacular plays out in the outfield as of late in some very critical moments in the game. So I had to ask the guys to weigh in as to which one was their favorite.
I think the John Jay one is probably one of the better catches I've ever seen. Not to mention it was in the midst of a no-hitter at the time. Just took an unbelievable route, caught it, slid at the right time into the wall, over the shoulder. I mean, that's as difficult as it gets.
I got to say BJ robbing that home run, just because that saved a run in a pretty crucial game. So him going over the wall and pulling that one back was the best one I've seen.
Probably Jay's. I mean, yesterday sliding into the wall was really good. BJ obviously robbing that home run was really nice. But other than, those are probably the two that rank the highest. Jay's was probably the most impressive.
Coming up, it's an East Coast, West Coast battle as the Mets take on the Padres here at Petco for Game 3 of the 4-game set coming up.
Cespedes. Kemp going back onto the track. He reaches up, able to make the catch out there and right. Now they're going to try and score Cabrera. Throw from left field to the plate is going to be in time. I would call that Mauer power. The Padres win. Fernando Rodney, shoot that arrow. It's been a fun couple of days here at Petco Park, and today is Game 3 as James Shields leads his team onto the field to get it started against the Mets. Expecting a huge crowd here tonight at Petco Park, and James Shields ready to toe the rubber. Let's check out the Mets lineup. It is brought to you by Hyundai. Leading it off and in right field, Curtis Granderson with David Wright, the captain of the Mets, at third base. Michael Conforto is in left field. Yoenis Cespedes in center with Lucas Duda at first base. Neil Walker at second, bat sixth, as Drupal Cabrera has had a good series at shortstop. Kevin Plawecki will be the catcher and bat eighth, and Bartolo Colon out of the ninth spot for Terry Collins. He is the pitcher.
And making his 7th start of the season, 34-year-old right-handed veteran James Shields. Pretty good numbers against the New York Mets for his career. A nice 2.75 ERA. Scouting report, he's got fastball at both sides. He'll cut it into the lefties, and he'll throw that changeup at any time. He's a max effort guy. He leaves it all out there on that hill.
Well, the Padres defensively behind Shields, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Melvin Upton Jr. in left, John Jay in center. Matt Kemp in right, third to first in the infield. It's Brett Wallace, Alexei Ramirez, Jamiel Weeks, and Will Myers, with Derek Norris doing the catching and James Shields on the hill. And great to see Derek Norris after he got banged up in last night's game. And some question as to whether or not he was going to be okay to go tonight. And Andy Green was very happy that he is, because he's worked so well with James Shields.
He's scrap iron. He'll bend, but he won't break.
Pretty tough guy.
Yes, he is.
Well, Curtis Granderson stepping in to lead it off here for the Mets. And that's outside for ball one. We are underway. Terry Collins' Mets team has a large contingent of fans here tonight. Looks like they have bought out to the bleacher section in right field. Strike over the outside corner. And there they are. They're dressed in their orange.
Hey, we're in town to see the Mets.
How about the guys last night in center field? Did you catch that?
We got Johnny Bag of Donuts out there. Hey, rooting for the Mets. Hey, come on now, huh? Come on, Granderson.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. They were giving it to John Jay in center.
Yeah. That's great, though.
Granderson at 215, 5 homers, 10 runs batted in. He's got a home run in this series. Fly ball, sky to center. John Jay's out there tracking it. In the shadows out there in center field. He'll put it away. You see the last rays of sunshine there in right field. The Sunfield here at Petco Park. 68 degrees as we get it started. Partly cloudy the forecast. And the home plate area and the mound are in the shadows to start this game, as David Wright about to stand in with one out here in the top of the first inning. 241 average for the captain of the Mets. 3 homers and 7 runs batted in.
You know, the last handful of games, Don, it's pitching staff for the Padres have done a number on the heart of the order, don't you think?
Absolutely. They've done a number on the entire order. But yes, I see what you're saying. I know where you're going.
Even the Rockies, when they were in town, you should take a look at the arbiters tonight.
Leonard Whittlestead with the plate. Ramon DeJesus added to this 4-man crew. Trip Gibson at second, and the crew chief, Jerry Lane, at third. Swing and a miss. Good pitch, a ball and a strike now to Wright.
Well, we talked about the repertoire of James Shields. Way behind it is David Wright. Breaks out the curveball there.
Shields winning his last time out. Could have won a few other times along the way as well. But he starts tonight at 1-4 with a 3.23 earned run average. That victory was a win for him against the Colorado Rockies. Going 6 innings, 9 hits, just the 1 run. He walked 2 and struck out 5 through an even 100 pitches. It's the 3rd time this year that he'd thrown 100 or more. And what an effort last night by Drew Pomerantz. Pretty good. 5 shutout innings, giving him just the 1 hit. He grabs the win. All part of a rotation that is highly successful over the last 7 to 10 days.
You know what else I like about the way the pitchers have been pitching? Keeping the defense on the field for not a long time.
And David Wright's going to take a walk here, and a pitch down and in. So a 1-out walk allowed by Shields.
Not a lot of time on defense is huge for any ball club.
And with Syndergaard last night, Jacob deGrom in game 1. Padres able to beat both of them. Michael Conforto came off the bench in last night's game, started game 1 and starts game 3. Left fielder for the Mets. Just shy of 300, checking in at 298. 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. Padres shifting on the right side of the infield, but they'll keep it tight to the infield with double play possibilities. Shields starts off ahead. Boy, the shifting has really worked in this series for the Padres. The defense has been outstanding. Talking about the last 8 games and how good the pitching has been, the starting pitching. Well, you can add the relievers to that equation too. Their numbers have been very good.
And the one thing that sticks out is a few walks. They're being aggressive. You know, there's a difference between strikes and quality strikes. Both starters, relievers doing just that, and then wiping out hitters staying off the sweet spot. If it's not the strikeout, it's a weakly hit baseball.
Wright takes off. Here's a fly ball sent foul down the right field line out of play. A hit and run for the Mets, and Wright will have to come on back to first base.
I've noticed already out of the chute. I know James Shields has only thrown 13 pitches, but he's throwing some off-speed stuff, a lot of off-speed stuff to these Mets. Not a bad thing, but he's got confidence in that curveball and that changeup.
Always the changeup in any count, it seems.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he'll throw it 3-2.
Hold on at first is Wright by Myers. One out here in the first inning. Conforto will take a pitch outside.
Went for the outside corner on the cutter and missed. Fastball in.
Popped up. That'll get back and out of play off to the left. Well, Shields has done this year as far as pitch selection goes.
Yeah, the cutter and the fastball are pretty much close because a lot of services will have that as the same pitch, or they'll have the cutter as the slider, but the changeup and the curveball, you know what, he mixes it up. Throw over to first.
Not a huge lead for Wright, able to scamper back. Well, he's looking into the sun there at first base right now, the way the light tower is set up. Sun shining into Myers' eyes as well as Wright at first base, and now the home plate area is in the sunshine again.
Curveball.
Swing and a miss, kept him off balance and strikes him out. First K of the night for James Shields.
But when you throw a plethora of pitches, the cutter, the changeup, the straight fastball, and then you drop the curveball, well, Conforto was way off balance on that one, and great location as well. If, in fact, he makes contact with that, he either fouls it off his shin or goes over near the Padre dugout. A great location on that pitch.
So 2 down, David Wright still at first base, held on over there by Myers. And here is Cespedes having a very good start to this year. 289, 9 homers, and 27 runs batted in. They shift here on Cespedes on the left side as Jamal Weeks moves from second base to the left side of the infield. And there's strike one to Cespedes. There's the defensive alignment for the Padres. Check and a crossover back to the bag for Wright. Padres taking the first 2 games of this series. They started the 7-game homestand, taking 2 out of 3 from the Colorado Rockies. And now taking the first 2 against the Mets.
When you look at those numbers, 0 for 7 for Cespedes, and let's face it, the kid loves the fastball, right? Well, Shields can counter with the off-speed stuff. Seems logical to me. That's why Cespedes has been having trouble with James Shields.
Two for 7 in the series is Cespedes with a home run. Of course, he homered in the first game as Mets tried to come back in that game, put a 3 spot on the board in the 9th, but came up short in game 1. Ball and 2 strikes now to Cespedes.
Yeah, if you're going to throw that fastball to Cespedes, you make sure you get it out there. But James just kind of yanked that one a little bit too much as Lucas Duda waits on deck.
Mentioned Cespedes, 27 RBIs. That is 4th most overall in the majors. 9 home runs, tied for 7th in the majors. .656 slugging percentage. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 34-year-old James Shields making his 7th start of the season tonight. 5th of the year at home for him. And 2nd start of this homestand. Mentioned he won the first time against the Colorado Rockies as part of this homestand. In the air to left field, down the line towards the corner. Upton is over, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Yoenis Cespedes, his 10th home run of the year. RBIs 28 and 29, and the Mets off to the fast start on top 2-0.
Well, it was a 2-2 changeup, and this one leaks on contact. That's down the middle of the plate. Sure, he goes down and gets it. Boy, not that much of a stride. He just picked up his foot, set it down, let the hands fly, the barrel of the bat. And, you know, he's so strong that even though it's an off-speed pitch, he creates that bat speed, gets the barrel on it, and just kept it fair. That's a changeup that he missed with location on.
So 2-0, the Mets on top. Lucas Duda will take a pitch outside for ball 1. 240 average coming in for Duda. 7 homers, 18 runs batted in. You'll notice a recurring theme here for the Mets. They hit a lot of home runs. Mets fans are happy about that. They have jumped on top here 2-0.
And one lonely Padre fan stuck right in the middle. You know, that might be a setup.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't think it's real. It's been planted.
I think the guy's kind of maybe playing along, or he's planted by those Mets fans just to make it look like the Padre fan has no chance out there. Just a guess. Maybe not.
Duda takes the strike, and it evens at 2-2. Well, the Mets are 17-11. Start the day a game and a half back at the Washington Nationals in the National League East. They've lost 2 in a row, first 2 games of this series. And even with that, they are 8-5 on the road away from Citi Field. And a swing and a miss. Duda strikes out. 2 Ks for Shields, but 2 runs for the Mets, who lead it 2-0 out of the gate. Padres baseball brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. By Petco, your complete pet store. By Tough Turtle Turf, the industry's only lifetime turf. And by Sony, leader of 4K Ultra HD. Well, the Padres trailing 2-0 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the first. Here's the Padres lineup brought to you by Toyota. John Jay at the top of the order with Will Myers at first base, Matt Kemp in right, Brett Wallace at third base. Melvin Upton Jr. will be in left. Alexei Ramirez at shortstop. Derek Norris does the catching with Jemiah Weeks at second. And James Shields batting out of the number 9 spot is the pitcher. Bartolo Colon on the mound tonight for the Mets. '19th season in the big leagues for Colon. Fly ball, center field, sending Cespedes back. He'll get there for the first out.
And the scouting report for Bartolo Colon, the 42-year-old, soon to be 43, is brought to you by Scripps. Fastball, slider, changeup, but you know what? He's fastball heavy, 86% fastballs. He just tries to paint. The velocity is only going to be like 88. Sure, he'll pump it up sometimes at 92-ish, but this guy's fun to watch, and don't let the physique kill you. Hey, they love the big sexy in New York, right?
One down here on the first.
That guy can pitch. He's a great athlete.
Will Myers will take a pitch that just misses. Myers at 292 to start the night.
You know what's amazing about Colon as well? In 3,012 and a third innings pitch going into tonight's game in his career, he's only walked 859. That is truly amazing. You're going to get strikes. He's going to be around the zone.
Last outing picked up his 220th career win.
That's a heck of a career.
Yes, it is. There's another strike in there. It is a fastball. That one at 91 miles an hour. Did not walk a batter, to your point, in his last start. Second start this year that he's not walked a batter in. On the ground, right side, kind of fought it off. Walker's there, and Myers is out number 2. Let's check out the Mets defensively behind Colon. Michael Conforto in left field. Yoenis Cespedes in center. Curtis Granderson around in right. With David Wright at third base. Drupal Cabrera, the veteran shortstop. Neil Walker at second. Lucas Duda at first base. Kevin Plawecki does the catching for Bartolo Colon. 2 down here in the first inning. And we'll bring up Matt Kemp.
Pretty good defensive team, these New York Mets. Only 12 on the year. Top 3 in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, they are second only behind the Washington Nationals as far as errors made. The Nationals have only made 9 miscues. They're not even in double figures yet. And the Mets have made 12 errors as a team. Matt Kemp batting with 2 down, bases empty. And a liner to third base right to David Wright that ends the inning. So Colon has a 1-2-3 first. The Mets lead it 2-0.
Tonight will be treated to, shall we call them, the vocal stylings of some 1,400 diehard Mets fans. They call themselves the Seven Line Army, and that's named for the train that goes from Manhattan to Queens and drops fans off directly at Citi Field. It's called the Seven Line. So they travel. They are represented by about 25 different states, and they do about 5 road trips a year. The first one was in Chicago in 2013, and here they are. They all have matching T-shirts that say Beach Bash on them. They are not easily quelled.
No, they paraded their way down the street outside to get into the ballpark as one. They came in as a group.
I think it's very cool. I mean,
awesome.
I love fans that are fans of baseball, obviously. And hey, if you can travel like that and have a fraternity and unite like that, that makes it really special. And Julie, I understand you spent some time in New York. Did that New York accent follow you out of New York? What's up with that?
You know what? Not so much, but you know, it comes back every now and then, whenever I want. I can pick it up. I can can turn it off whenever you want. Doesn't matter.
Get out of here with that.
You get out of here.
Neil Walker leading it off here for the Mets.
Excuse me, miss, but what train do I take to Citi Field?
Oh, that would be the 7 line.
And where do I pick that up?
Oh, you can get it anywhere. You can get it in Manhattan, you can get it in Queens, wherever you want to pick it up. It doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
It comes back.
I guess so.
Every now and then. A couple of words like water.
Water.
Butter.
Butter. Sure, whatever.
I think it's very cool.
Well, they are having a good time. There's no doubt about that. They like the way this game has started. The Mets get a 2-run home run from Yoenis Cespedes to jump on top 2-0.
I've always said to myself, if I lived in New York, I would be the biggest Mets fan, just because I hate the Yankees. But I just think the Mets franchise is just such a cool franchise. Being able to play at Shea Stadium and then broadcasting there and also Citi Field, but just the atmosphere there. And I just love it. I'd be the biggest Mets fan.
Would you wear that shirt that the guy had on last night at center field?
Oh, without the sleeves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sun's out, guns out.
Fly ball left field has Upton on the move towards the corner, and he will run it down. Melvin Upton Jr. with a good jump goes back to the corner, back by the 3:36 marker to make the catch. So one away here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. One of the additions to this reigning National League champion New York Mets squad. Spent last year as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League, and now a New York Met. 303, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in his first 28 games in a Mets uniform.
And they love what he's been doing at shortstop. As we just mentioned, proof is in the numbers. Only 12 miscues, strong up the middle for these Mets.
They shift on him on the right side to the Padres defensively. Jamal Weeks in short right. This time they leave Brett Wallace at third base and bring Alexei Ramirez to the right side. That's a little different.
A lot of range. You can see where Alexei Ramirez is playing, right? I mean, he's got a lot of range where he can go to his right and left. And then Brett Wallace, he is kind of protecting maybe if they choose to bunt down that left field line.
Soft grounder. Ramirez is going to have to cut it off and still have to hurry. And he gets it there in time to get Cabrera. That was not hit hard enough for it to get out to Weeks, who is in short right field. Alexei identified that very quickly and ran in, charging in to make the play. So 2 down here in the second. That'll bring up Kevin Plawecki. Catcher totaling a 189 average in 14 games. No homers and 2 runs batted in.
Hey, Howard Stern in the house. King of all media, rocking the 24-ounce Bud. Hey now.
Line to center. John Jay going back. John Jay can't make the catch. Glances off his glove and kicks to the wall. To second base goes Plawecki. He'll get there standing with 2 outs. And Jay almost made a tremendous catch, kind of reaching back. It is a double for Plawecki.
You know, I'm betting, you know, we've seen some spectacular plays from John Jay. He turns, he's going, his right, his glove. Oh, you know what? I bet you if you asked John, hey, should you have had that? He probably would have said yes. Okay, does he overrun it a little bit? It's directly over his head, a great effort. But with 2 outs, and Bartolo Colon coming up to the plate. Hey, I know he's got a bat in his hands, but
if you're going to give up a double, this is the time to do it with 2 outs.
That's 0 for 4 in the series with runners in scoring position. Bartolo at .089 in his career as a hitter this year, 0 for 9. Now, he will not get cheated on his hacks.
No.
He likes to swing the bat.
Yes, he does.
When he does, he really swings it. In the air to left field. Struck well. Upton going back towards the wall, and that ball is gone. Bartolo Colon has taken it out of the yard. A 2-run home run. His teammates love it. He's got to make his way around the bases, and it'll put the Mets on top 4-0. The Mets have departed. They are gone. They are in the clubhouse at the moment. He's by himself in the dugout. Now they'll come back out.
I'm speechless.
Now Curtis Granderson takes the curveball for strike 1. That was the first home run for Bartolo Colon in his career. And the pitch will miss, evening the count of 1-1. Walker flied out. Cabrera grounded out, a double by Plawecki. The 2-run home run by Bartolo Colon, the second home run by the Mets tonight. On the ground, sounded like a broken bat. It's Ramirez on the right side who throws to first to end the inning. But the damage done. Bartolo Colon helping out his own cause. A 2-run home run. The Mets have a 4-0 lead over the Padres at the end of an inning and a half. It's time now for the Fan Diego fan of the game, and this guy has got to get it. He is out there amongst 4 1,400 Mets fans.
Yeah, he's got good attitude. Looks like they're treating him well. They're talking some ball, and I'm sure he's getting an earful. That's for sure. That's like Daniel going into the lion's den.
Well, Brett Wallace leading it off here for the Padres, trying to chip it away at what is a 4-run deficit early in this game tonight. Bartolo Colon had a 1-2-3 first inning, getting Jay, Myers, and Kemp. Wallace, Upton Jr., and Ramirez will be featured here in the second inning.
Well, you hate playing catch up this early, but starts with a walk or a base hit.
Shift on. There is Wright to throw to first base to get Wallace. So the third baseman on the right side of the infield on the shift, and they get Wallace for the first out. Here comes Melvin Upton Jr.
Well, when Colon hit that ball, I almost wanted to quote the great Jack Buck. I do not believe what I just saw.
Stunning.
It was stunning. But like I said, anybody who comes up to the plate with a bat in their hand, damage can be done.
And as I said, he takes a pretty healthy hack. We've seen it over the years. He doesn't get cheated.
And I even said, with the double and 2 outs, and then Colon I said, if you're going to do that, this is probably the time too. But you know what? Hey, you come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see. That's what makes our game so great.
So 4-0 Mets on top. Colon has started the night, retiring the first 4. Not thrown a wild pitch in 40 straight games. That's 37 starts. And there is strike 3. First strikeout for Colon. 2 down.
You just saw Bartolo Colon do something for the first time in his career by hitting a home run. But how about his defensive prowess? Look at this ball down the line, flip behind the back. Just another day at the old ball yard. And he plays it off like, hey, no big deal.
Alexei Ramirez batting with 2 down in the inning.
85-mile-an-hour fastball. But he hits the corners, man. He's got some movement along with it.
Sprayed foul off to the right, out of play, and it's 0-2. I mentioned 42 years old. He'll turn 43 on May the 24th.
All 5'11" and 283 pounds of him. That's what he's listed in the media guide.
On the ground left side, Cabrera kind of rounds behind it and throws off balance and in time. Colon's retired the first 6. The Mets have a 4-0 lead. A great moment in All-Star history brought to you by Geico. The 1984 All-Star Game in San Francisco. The Mets' Doc Gooden became the youngest player to appear in an All-Star game at age 19. In the 5th inning, Gooden struck out the side, getting Lance Parrish, Chet Lemon, and Alvin Davis. Well, the All-Star game coming here to Petco Park later this summer. As David Wright leads it off. A note from that game, from the 1984 All-Star game. Fernando Valenzuela, who we just saw broadcasting for the Dodgers now on their Spanish radio network, had struck out the side in the 4th inning. And he struck out Hall of Famers Dave Winfield, Reggie Jackson, and George Brett in the same. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's
Hey, both those guys fun to watch, huh?
Indeed. Well, David Wright taking the breaking ball for a strike.
There was nothing better, and I think it started with Doc Gooden when he was a rookie. That place, Shea Stadium, whenever he got to 2 strikes, everybody would just stand up and just start screaming and yelling. That was electric.
Bartolo Colon has pitched well so far, retiring the first 6 Padres that he has faced. He has homered a 2-run shot, and the Mets have a 4-0 lead.
I think he's still recovering from rounding the bases.
Right, a walk for the 2nd time tonight. 2 walks for Shields, and they both have been to David Wright. 48 pitches now for Shields through the first 2+ innings, and he's got Michael Conforto coming up. Padres will shift. This time they bring Wallace to the right side of the infield, their 3rd baseman. Outfield straight away. Now the walk for David Wright, who's now walked 5 times in the series, twice tonight. High strike call. Shields with 2 strikeouts so far in the game. He has walked 2. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 off balance.
Got the good curveball working early. Just a couple of pitches. The changeup to Cespedes and that pitch to Bartolo Colon has been the difference. Also understand, we see the shift with James Shields out there. He's kind of in control a little bit of the way he wants to shift players on defense. Understand that also Andrew Kastner has a little bit of leeway as well as far as the way he wants the defense to play behind him. Remember that was brought up. Remember Clayton Kershaw? There was a big article about 2 weeks ago. I remember back in the day when I would watch guys like Gaylord Perry and Tom Seaver and those guys. They would position the defense. They'd stand on the hill. They'd look out before the hitter. They position the guy over here, guy over there. And I feel if a pitcher is confident in his ability to hit his spots, hey, and because the main thing is you want the pitcher to feel comfortable on the hill.
Yeah, makes sense. You don't want him out there doing something that takes him out of his mindset.
And if he feels comfortable in his mind, his heart, that he has the positioning of his defense the way he likes it, hey, I say go with it.
Or vice versa. Uncomfortable with the way the defense has been aligned.
Right, exactly.
And now you're trying to pitch to an area you don't want to.
Yeah.
Just because of the way the defense is aligned. So I get that, and I understand it. A big crowd on hand here tonight at Petco Park, and so far it has been all Mets.
When are we going to do a game from out there?
Can't wait.
The Sun Deck.
San Diego Beach.
How sweet would that be?
Ball 4, back-to-back walks allowed by Shields to begin things here in the 3rd inning.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HDN, over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
I didn't realize the beach was still out there. I thought the beach was gone entirely. No, there's still a section left out there of the beach, huh?
Just beyond the San Diego Beach.
where the libations are flowing, just beyond that.
Well, here's Cespedes, who has already contributed in this game with a 2-run home run in the first inning. Shields walking right and Conforto to begin things here in the third inning. On the ground towards short. Ramirez will go to second for 1, on to first for 2. Well, Shields needed that, and he gets it. Induces the double play as Wright takes third base. Goes 6-4-3 on the twin killing.
No room for error on that exchange because Cespedes is picking him up and putting him down. The ball hit sharply. Ramirez, look at the strike to second base for Ricky Weeks. And let's check and see if Ricky Weeks was on the bag at second. Jamiel Weeks. I stand corrected. Jamiel Weeks. Looks like his left foot was on the bag. And then he pivoted and thrown.
So 2 down, right at third base. And it brings up Lucas Duda. Duda will take it outside. Struck out swinging in the first inning. His plate appearances facing a shift. David Ortiz with more. Wild swing and a miss there. Good pitch.
That's the curveball again.
Next pitch will be the 60th of the outing for Shields.
Got to keep it in slam range and limit the damage. Padres need to play catch up. That's a given. Down 4-0 here in the third. There it is. Once a pitcher gets a feel for a pitch like that,
keep going to it.
Keep going to it. Especially if they keep offering at it.
Right at third base, 2 down here in the visiting half of the third inning. 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Third strikeout for Shields. The Mets have a 4-0 lead.
Last night on the play at the plate, there you see Derek Norris colliding with Cabrera. Only later to find out that he tweaked his hip. Andy Green asking him if he wanted to come out of the game and then saying, I think Derek Norris would have punched me if I took him out of the game. He absolutely refused. Played the rest of the game, and then obviously in the lineup tonight, he's hitting. And very, very happy, Andy Green, that he is back in the lineup. Glad that he's okay. And really impressed with the ownership that Derek Norris has taken as of late. He said he's moved from good to great. He said those scouting reports, he owns that. He says being able to have that amazing communication with these pitchers, playing a big part in this rotation, being more efficient.
So he's like an extension. Thank you, Julie. Kind of an extension of the coaching staff as a catcher. He really, takes so much responsibility in the pitching staff, and of course, working in correlation with Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, and Norris leading it off here in the bottom of the third inning. Padres have work to do.
Imagine what's all on the plate of a major league catcher. Heck, a minor league catcher at that.
Yeah, the game plan is a lot of time.
And you know what? If you're not doing it with the shillelagh.
And he's doing it. Lines it into center field. First hit of the night for the Padres.
Good for Derek Norris, because we knew that he was going through a pattern earlier to where he was hitting some balls hard. It wasn't finding the holes. Well, he's right on that one, sending it right back up the middle. The big key, sure, the big leg kick, but the hands were back all the way as soon as that leg was down and driving that ball to center field. The Revenant is aboard.
First base runner of the night for San Diego, and here's Jamal Weeks. And at the lip of the grass at third is David Wright. As Weeks will take the strike. Generous call. And Colon from the stretch for the first time tonight. And after retiring the first 6 San Diego Padres that he faced, one with a strikeout. Well, the first, and back to the bag is Norris. Colon with 3 seasons of at least 14 wins since he turned 40. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Tied for second most in such seasons in modern Major League history. Phil Niekro had 5 such seasons, 1979 through 1985. 14 wins, tied for the 7th most in the National League last year. Popped up, shallow left. It's the shortstop Cabrera on the short lawn in left field. He puts it away for out number 1.
Time now for our Tools of the Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. We're going to focus on the Mets pitcher, Bartolo Colon, on the hill tonight. And what is he all about? Well, a lot of fastballs, over 85%. But look at location. In about belt buckle high. How about down and away at knee high? And when he gets in that groove, he can go up and in to the lefty as well. So it's moving it in, moving it out, a little bit of movement. He'll change speeds on that. Tools of the trade. 42-year-old Bartolo Colon.
Gave up a leadoff single to Norris. He has got Weeks to fly out, and now here's James Shields batting out of the 9 spot. Shields has a hit this season. He is 1 for 10. And he turns 43 coming up on May the 24th. Ichiro at 42. Ray Dickey, the former Cy Young Award winner in the National League with these Mets, now pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I remember watching Jamie Moyer pitch for the Colorado Rockies and getting a win against the Padres at age 49.
In the left field, and a base hit for Shields, his 2nd hit of the season. And keeps it going here for San Diego in the 3rd inning.
Well, I've said it for many years, and it proves my point. Bartolo Colon hitting the home run. James Shields, oh, he's going to the 5.5 hole. And Bartolo Colon is like, okay, James, I got you. A little love from the right-hander. It just goes to prove you that the pitchers are the best athletes on the field.
And the smartest.
End of discussion. The defense rests, Your Honor.
And again, just to be clear, you were a
pitcher.
Right. 1 out, runners at first and second. And John Jay standing in. And slice it foul off to the left.
There was also an 0-2 pitch from Colon that James Shields singled to left field. So a couple of runners on here for John Jay.
He's been good in this category. 524. Ryan Braun has been better. Morris at second, Shields at first. One out. Jay will take the strike. 88 and that fastball right there for Bartolo Colon.
But it's the movement. Did you see that movement?
Yep.
It kind of straightened up John a little bit. And when you have that pinpoint control like that, there's not much that a hitter can do.
Inside, and I guess he got the bat.
Here's the previous pitch. It's a two-seam fastball. Look, it's up and in, and John Jay kind of like pulls his arms in because he thinks it's going to be up and in. But then it catches the inside part of the plate, inner third.
It was a lane
That's
changer.
a lane changer.
It was.
And he didn't use his directional.
No.
And it fooled him.
Well, Plawecki out to talk to Colon here. A count of 0-2. They did give the bat. Sounded like it did coming in.
Well, you don't want to get crossed up with that runner on second and first and second and create a second and third situation. So Plawecki probably just going over the signs, the sequence of signs with Colon.
Close pitch. This is inside. Will Myers waiting on deck. Padres have 2 hits here in the inning after Colon had retired the first 6 batters that he faced tonight. 1 out in the inning. Jay turns on it, grounds it foul. Colon a win last time out against the Atlanta Braves, going 8 innings, allowing no runs. But throwing 99 pitches in that last outing. He's not had an outing this year in which he's gone over 100 pitches yet. In the air to right center field. Back goes Granderson towards the track at the wall. That ball's going to carry out of here. A 3-run home run for John Jay. Here come the Padres. They're back within a run.
What were we talking about? Runners in scoring position in those numbers? Not just driving in 1 run, but how about a 3-run shot? The Chief Justice throwing the gavel and going to the beach. There are home runs, and then there are huge home runs. We just saw a huge one there.
Down 4-0. And you can't forget the contribution there of James Shields as well to get on base with a base hit.
With an 0-2 count.
John Jay with his first home run in a Padres uniform couldn't come at a better time. Now Will Myers with 1 out.
I mean, he went out to that beach with the authorities saying to the bartender, yo, I'll take a sculpin. He wants a little IPA for you here. He's rattling some beer mugs out there on the beach.
Tail of the tape, 417 out to the beach. Little pitch location, see where it ended up.
Well, remember he was trying to go inside a lot, and
Yep.
John Jay, you know, on contact, it's right down the middle of the plate, upper half of the strike zone, staying on top of it just enough to give it a ride. One of the few sliders we've just seen right there from Bartolo Colon.
I'll mix it up here, second time through.
I love the 3-run shot. How about you?
Nothing like it. Well, Grand Slam's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Just kind of like it, but better. In the air to right field. This will be playable for Granderson. Makes his way towards the line and makes the catch for the first out. Second out, checked out. So 2 down. It'll bring up Matt Kemp. He hit one hard off Colon. Boy was retired, lining out to David Wright at third base in the first inning. John Jay with a 3-run home run. Padres now trailing by a run as Kemp stands in. 326 in 62 games against the Mets. 8 home runs along the way.
He dropped his arm angle on that one. Kind of had some funky action on that last pitch from Colon.
And missing outside. 2-0. Well, coming in 2-1 his record, a 2.56 earned run average. He's already allowed more runs than that. 7th appearance, 6th start for the 42-year-old right-hander. Now Kemp will pop it up. Foul ground third base way, should reach the seats and will. Tonight's game is presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. Two-1. Grounded foul over beyond the Mets dugout. Evens up at 2-2 now to Kemp.
Well, it was the second time around for John Jay with the 3-run shot, but one thing that's for sure against Bartolo Colon. First time through the order, hitters hit 357 off him. Now, if he gets settled in, it's a different story. 236, so he kind of settles in. So you got to get to him early.
Swing and a miss, and Kemp chases to strike out, but the damage done in the inning. The Padres get a 3-run home run from John Jay. His first home run in a Padres uniform. As San Diego back within a run, the Mets have a 4-3 lead. Run for John Jay has made this a 1-run game. The Mets on top 4-3 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Neil Walker's going to lead it off here against James Shields.
Okay, we got ourselves a ball game now. Back within 1.
Well, Shields here, an important inning for him as he comes in now 62 pitches deep into his outing.
Yeah, especially after it just happened, dropping the 3 spot on the Mets. Get right back in that dugout quickly.
There's a strike, and it evens at 1-1. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks tonight for Shields, giving up 3 hits. And a touch for 4 runs, 2 in the first, 2 in the second. There's a ground ball into the shift right side. Myers is there. He'll tag the bag for the first out here of the 4th inning.
You know, Don, I've got to reiterate and say again, but James Shields, that was a curveball that was thrown to Neil Walker, and
It's been really good.
It's been really good. And that's a good sign that the Padres dropped that 3 spot. It's a 1-run deficit, and here it is. By the way, that one that he struck out Lucas Duda on to end the 3rd inning, 66 miles an hour.
Huh.
Miles an hour, I should say. I'll get it right.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
1 out here in the 4th inning brings up Asdrubal Cabrera. He grounded out to his counterpart at shortstop, Alexei Ramirez, in a shift, and that's where Ramirez is again. He's moved to the right side of the infield, shifting again. And a big swing and a miss there. A breaking ball, 1-1. See the shift. This time Wallace left on the 3rd base side. That's exactly how they aligned against Cabrera last time, and it worked. To right field, and through the shift, that ball is going to get to the wall on a hop. Kemp back to play it, but to second base goes Cabrera's got himself a 1-out double. So right up over the shift and into right field quickly, and Cabrera, the veteran shortstop, has a double.
It looks like a slider. A slider that's left up, inner third, and got in on him a little bit, but boy, he was very, very quick with his hands. And we got to be careful if you're going to throw that short breaking ball in to a lefty. You got to make sure it does get in. Caught too much of the plate for Cabrera for a 7th double.
1 out, he's in scoring position, brings up Kevin Plawecki. Plawecki with a double in the 2nd inning. We come around to score on the 2-run home run by Bartolo Colon. And that'll miss for ball 1. Left side, Ramirez rounds him behind, looks the runner back at 2nd, and then fires to 1st for the out. Plawecki retired 6-3 for the 2nd out. Well, here comes Bartolo for his 2nd at bat. In his 1st at bat in the 2nd inning, he would hit a 2-run home run. Looks like he knew it right away.
I was just going to say the same thing. With everybody exiting the dugout and giving him the silent treatment.
And Mets history. Only one other player older has hit a home run for the Mets. Julio Franco back in 07 was 44 years of age when he homered. Known at 42, almost 43. Waiting on a 1-1 pitch with 2 down. And a swing and a miss. He goes chasing there.
The equalizer. Throwing Colon the curveball. Why not throw him another one? That's a lot of jersey, isn't it?
Swing and a miss, and Shields strikes him out this time. They leave Cabrera at 2nd base. It's 4-3 New York. That's Padres baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the new Padres Club Card today. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. John Jay with a 3-run home run erases what was a 4-run deficit. Padres trailing by a run as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Bartolo Colon. Colon, who allowed the 3-run home run to Jay in the 3rd inning, back out there for the 4th at 44 pitches so far in the game. Took just 18 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. Deals with 4, 5, and 6 for San Diego here in the 4th. Brett Wallace, Melvin Upton, and Alexei Ramirez.
You know how the angry statistician Mike Trussell, he does a fine job. He always keeps track of 3-ball counts for pitchers. For Bartolo Colon, he keeps track of 2-ball counts. And there's another one right there. And my point being is that he's always around the plate. Very few walks. So if he goes 2-0 on you.
We mentioned earlier that he has twice this year had 2 outings in which he did not walk anybody.
Oh, 3-0.
There you go. Doesn't happen often. Mentioned that he has not thrown a wild pitch, for instance, in 40 straight games. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. But you know why I think that is? Because he really doesn't throw. He doesn't throw that like that big curveball that you could bounce. He doesn't throw that split finger that, you know, he throws an occasional. I mean, very rarely a changeup, and that short little slider.
Second longest active streak among starters in the majors. Johnny Cueto has 40 straight starts without a wild pitch. There is ball 4, and there is a walk. Doesn't happen often, but Brett Wallace has got one to lead off the 4th inning.
He got squeezed on that one. That was a good pitch.
Coming into the game, how about 3? Now he's got 4. Pretty amazing.
Remember that one year Dennis Eckersley pitched like 75 innings in relief or something ridiculous, and he walked like 2 hitters. I mean, it was really ridiculous, the numbers.
Here's Melvin Upton with 1 on, nobody out.
Speaking of pitchers who throw strikes, as you take a look at Bartolo Colon, how about Ferguson Jenkins? Over 3,000 strikeouts, but fewer than 1,000 walks in his career. Is that amazing?
That is amazing. Fly ball headed out towards left center field. Conforto going back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. Had a little more room to work with, didn't get enough of it. And Upton is out number 1 of the 4th inning as Wallace retreats to the bag at first. Well, with 1 out, we welcome in Mark Sweeney with us. And Mark, no give here for the Padres, right back in this game.
Well, the last 2 games, they've really had a lot of fight. At-bats have been much better, as you guys know. But also 2-strike hitting has really come into play. That adds to that confidence, but they're taking some really nice swings off Bartolo.
How about that home run?
Ooh, a lot of travel on that ball. 2-strike hitting for John Jay. He has done it consistently.
Runners in scoring position, too. Those numbers are very good. Seems like he locks in.
And John did a great job of, because Colon was trying to come in on him, and it just leaked a little bit, got his hands through nicely and sent it a long way. That was great at bat.
It was. Took a borderline pitch and fouled one off, and like we saw last night, uses all of the field. That makes him dangerous.
Ramirez will lift it in the air down the left field line, heading over Cabrera, the shortstop, and right, and it's Cabrera with his back to the plate who makes the catch well down the line in foul ground for the 2nd out, and give him a lot of credit. He went a long way, along with Conforto coming from left, right from 3rd, but it's Cabrera who makes the catch.
You know what amazes me, guys, you see Cabrera going over those flash looks, just peeking where he is, and also knowing where that left fielder Conforto is. Both guys. David Wright's not afforded to have that look, but Cabrera with that better angle for the shortstop. That was a very athletic play.
2 down, Wallace at first base, and Derek Norris the batter. I guess when you're facing Cologne, you know he's going to be around the zone the entire time. No sense in waiting around as some early swings. You got to be aggressive. You don't want to be down 0-2 and the highest percentage of pitches in the strike zone. Second only to Steven Matz, so you know he's going to be right around there.
Yeah, it comes right into play. And you right when you get in the locker room, you know who you're going against. That number sticks out. That tells you that it's time to be aggressive and square it up because you know you're going to get a fastball.
Popped up, run around the bag at second. It'll be Neil Walker making his way in. Now Cabrera, look out. It's Cabrera. Shortstop cuts in front of him. Works his way around a leadoff walk. Mets have a 4-3 lead. Get ready for the top half of the fifth inning. It's time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile and around the majors today. Adrian Beltre 2 for 4 with 2 home runs and a Rangers win as they beat the Tigers 10-5. We just saw Clayton Kershaw in his last outing. We followed it up again with another good one today as they beat the Toronto Blue Jays 6-2. Another 10+ K effort for him. 10 Ks, in fact, in 7 innings, 4 straight for him. And he got Ian Kennedy 7 shutout innings in a Royals 7-0 win against the Cleveland Indians.
Right, think about the World Series champions, the Kansas City Royals. They need some starting pitching to step up. And man, has Ian Kennedy been very good in that uniform.
And they've won just 2 of their last 10, finding themselves 5 games back of the White Sox in the American League Central. And here is Curtis Granderson leading it off here in the 5th inning. 0 for 2 in the game. Well, we have seen the Mets starting rotation, and you look at the National League East and you got Washington, and you got 2 very good rotations, and those 2 teams battling for the top spot in the East. The National League, game and a half back are the Mets to begin the night.
Yeah, we saw Gio Gonzalez today against the Cubs. All boils down to the starting pitching in the bullpen, doesn't it?
I really do believe that, and you said on the pregame too, Philadelphia Phillies, what a great story with their young rotation. That's been very good. But you look at that division, I think the Phillies are going to step back because of their youth. And you also look at the Atlanta Braves. They have been the doormat for so far in this season. So if you think about those top 2 teams, Washington Nationals have really feasted on that easier schedule when it comes down to it. But I think that's what's really going to determine this division.
Granderson strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for James Shields. Look at the standings in the National League East. The Mets are a game back now, with Washington losing today, as Mud referenced. 2 games back, Miami and Philadelphia 16-14. The Braves have really fallen on hard times to begin the year here. Tough way to start. 7-21 to begin the year for the Atlanta Braves.
Makes it a very long season.
Yeah, Freddie Gonzalez already on the hot seat. You know, there's a lot of factors going in there. The way the team's playing, they're going into a new ballpark next year.
You know,
stay tuned.
Is it really his fault, though?
No, I know.
I mean, you look at that. That's what I can't stand about this, and it's those firing rumors. But Freddie Gonzalez didn't realize it was going to be a total teardown. Other than Freddie Freeman at first base, What direction is that team going in the next couple of years?
One down here in the 5th inning. David Wright getting his 3rd look at Shields. Walking in the 1st, walked in the 3rd.
Mark Sweeney, the breaking ball, the curveball in particular for James Shields, the last few innings, it's really coming to play.
Really different shapes to that too, and you're seeing a lot of depth on that, which really gives it trouble. You watch some of these Mets hitters, they're getting out front and they're changing it and then probably elevating that fastball at the top of the strike zone. Probably come into play for James Shields. Did you like that combination, especially with the curveball, that high fastball at the top of the strike zone?
Absolutely, especially if you throw the curveball for a strike. We just saw a fastball Wright was late on. But if you've got that hard curveball, and Shields isn't really hard, but it's got good depth, as you mentioned. And then you start that four-seamer up. A lot of hitters will recognize that and think that it might be, and then before it's too late, the point of no return, you can't hold up on the heater.
Payoff pitch. And Wright jumps back out of the way. It's the 3rd time that he has walked tonight. Shields has been extra careful with David Wright, and that is the 4th free pass for Shields.
Well, heavy workload in the 1st inning for James with 26 tosses plateward. And then as the game has gone on, he's found a little bit of a groove. 10 pitches so far in this inning.
1 out, Wright at 1st, and Michael Conforto the batter. Struck out swinging in the 1st. He walked in the 3rd inning. Shift on the right side here with the double play possibilities. They keep it in the infield, and it's Brett Wallace who's now on the right side. Swing and a miss. Conforto with a healthy hack there.
Well, speaking of the double play for the Mets, they've grounded into the fewest double plays in the National League.
Least amount or fewest? Are you okay with least amount? Because it's not less.
Please stand by.
It's least amount. He's going to check his thesaurus. Swing and a miss. As we stand by, it's 1-2.
Great 12-6er right here. Look at that rotation, very tight and a great location as far as on the outer part of the plate.
Yeah, the young Conforto has really been exposed to that curveball late last night when he was inserted into the game, and then tonight you're seeing a lot of heavy dose of curveballs.
Swing and a miss, and Conforto strikes out. Strikeout number 6 for Shields.
Through the course of this ball game, James Shields has really found that feel for the number 2. Okay, he starts him off. It's a ball, but that's okay. He's proven he can throw for strikes. There's the 2-seamer, a little action down and away. What is he doing here? Trying to keep it down and away. There's the number 2, and he finishes him off with a curveball right down the middle. Ends up at the shoe tops.
Do you agree this is the best curveball we've seen from him this year?
I think so.
2 down, Right at first base. And it brings up Yoenis Cespedes. A 2-run home run for Cespedes in the 1st puts him in double figures in home runs on the year with 10. Back to the screen, a ball and a strike.
You know, guys, you think about it, with David Wright on first base as an outfielder, even with 2 outs, you're going to take an extra step back. You see the depth of the outfield right there, and especially Matt Kemp covering that right center gap. You know, Cespedes wants to get on that pull side, but he also has power to that right center as well.
Remember, we were talking about the shift. And Cespedes breaking up the Colin Ray no-hitter the other night. Where did he put it? He punched it right through here. He went down and got that pitch too, as I recall.
Yeah, it's really good hitting. I mean, that's what you have to tip your cap and know the percentages sway the other side most times.
Fly ball, short right. Kemp coming in full bore. That ball is going to be caught out there. Good running catch by Kemp to end the top of the 5th. Halfway through for 3 Mets. As let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealer.
First one, jump on the fastball. A lot from Colon. They've done that. John Jay hitting a home run on that fastball, and also continue the go-glove defense. You know, John Jay has played such a spectacular center field. We expect him to make every play. There was a play that got over his head, just off his glove. Great effort by the center fielder. Hey, they played Gold Glove defense so far to this point. So, but his home run brought him within 1, and that's where we stand right now.
Jamal Weeks leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Popped out to shortstop first time up. And a swing and a miss here. Foul tip that time.
I like what I've seen, guys, from Jamal Weeks defensively.
Yeah, perfect turn tonight, especially. And that was one of the keys to the game, in my estimation. That double play ball off Cespedes. And, you know, he gets down the line. But you're right, Mark. He has played very well at second base.
On the count 0-2.
You know, offensively, Don and Mark, we saw in spring training what Jamal did very well is he let the ball travel. Had the quick hands, short hands. You're starting to see him leak out just a little bit, try to get that swing in front of him. Hopefully he can back that ball up, because I think when he goes the other way and has that look of going the other way, I think he's a lot quicker.
Strikes out looking, takes with him the 3rd strikeout for Bartolo Colon. First out here of the 5th inning. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Most career wins by Dominican-born pitchers. We mentioned that he has 220. And with his 220th last time out, he surpassed Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez, who had 219 victories. Ways to go to get to Juan Marichal.
Tell you what, Mark Sweeney, I mentioned it earlier. That is one heck of a career. The Dominican dandy, Juan Marichal.
Yep.
Pedro Martinez, and we are seeing him live and in person. The Big Sexy.
Yeah. Just puts a smile on your face when you look at him. Some of the things that he's done, but really evolved as a pitcher.
Up and over Colon and into center field. James Shields with his 2nd hit of the night. He's 2 for 2 in the game. Came in 1 for 10 on the year and has a couple of base hits.
I've always felt if a pitcher can just avoid the strikeout, put the ball in play, take your chances, and once in a while you will be standing at first or second base, and that chopper right out in front of home plate. Colon can't get it. Very nice.
1 out, 1 on, and here's John Jay. Jay to center field. Yoenis Cespedes drifting over. Will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Where does Colon rank among active pitchers, you may ask? And we answer. First, 220. How about innings? He is second in strikeouts, complete games. First in inducing double plays.
Well, you think about it, the longevity of Bartolo Colon's career, and you know it, Don. You saw it in the American League. This was a guy that you feared because of velocity and what he brought. And I just marvel at the guys that really continue their career and evolve into a guy that moves the ball around, but that consistency of how he throws that fastball, it's pretty impressive.
It is amazing how he's reinvented himself. It's at 42, soon to be 43 years old.
I last saw him on a regular basis in 2008. That year he went 4-2 in a Red Sox uniform, and I have to be honest with you, I thought at that point he was done. Far from done. That was 2008. 2009 he was with Chicago, 11 the Yankees, Oakland 2012, 2013, and now in his third season with the New York Mets. As Myers fouls it off himself painfully.
You know, and when it comes down to it, guys, you don't think about it. Everyone says what a great teammate he is. Well, to be a good teammate, you have to put up numbers still, continue. And as you said, those numbers look like they were declining. He is still going, and he becomes that good teammate because he's in a different uniform all the time. So many guys just absolutely love being around him, and he's a great example for this Mets staff, especially how young they are.
We signed this last offseason a free agent contract in December. And there is strike three. He freezes Myers. Fourth strikeout for Colon. The Mets have a 4-3 lead at the end of 5. Into the 6th inning, and James Shields been very impressive with the curveball tonight.
You know, when a pitcher has 3 or 4 different pitches, we take a look at the curveball with the index finger spiked into the seam. James Shields, sometimes the changeup will feel very good on a certain night. Sometimes it'll be locating the fastball. But tonight, for sure, Mark Sweeney, he found that curveball maybe in the 2nd inning, and he's been going to it, and it's been a dandy.
Yeah, different shapes, different speeds to that curveball as well. We saw Conforto last inning strike out, but he started him off with a harder breaking ball. Then he started keep on going softer and softer. Very difficult to get the timing aspect to that curveball.
By the way, speaking of curveballs, I was watching last night. Nice job on the Drew Pomerantz. I tell you what, if I tried to throw the curveball that Drew Pomerantz throws, it'd be up the screen or in the dugout. It's amazing to me how he throws that pitch.
Yeah, and we didn't get to it of how he pulled that down, but I think it's pretty interesting the communication we had with him. He learned it from his father, who also learned it from his coach when he was pitching. But Elaborate on that just a little bit if you could.
Well, what he does is he spikes, actually, it's not his fingernail like James Shields. He actually puts his finger, it's like his fingernail is flush on the ball. And he throws it. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. James Shields was like this, and he throws it like that, right? Well, Drew Pomeranz actually, his nails like this on the ball, and he actually throws it just like his fastball, and it comes out, he like flicks it.
Lined over the shift. It is a fair ball. Down towards the corner and the wall. Duda heading to second base. Got himself a leadoff double to begin things here in the 6th inning. Right up over the shift, right down the line.
Well, you see Lucas Duda and looking inside, and he gets that pitch, and that's what power hitters tend to do. They don't care where they're positioned. They're thinking about leaving the building. It's a nice line drive swing by Lucas Duda.
With the green light, 3-0, doing some damage there with the double.
Well, Duda in scoring position to begin things here in the 6th inning. Second time in 6 innings that the lead runner has been on for New York. Neil Walker 0 for 2. Second baseman for the Mets is flied out to the warning track in left and grounded out to first base. Inside.
Well, for Neil Walker, he's looking for something to hit to the right side in this situation, not a bunting situation, especially when you have the lead. He's going to try to look for something soft that he can go to that right side, but also elevate it if he can.
On the ground right side, Myers will take it himself to the bag, but he gets the job done. As you mentioned, trying to go that way and move the runner along, and he does. A pen up for the first time. Carlos Villanueva, first reliever up for San Diego. Shields working here in this inning at 97 pitches with 1 away in the 6th inning. Infield coming all the way in here now for the Padres with 1 down and trailing by a run with that runner at third base. Andy Green with Mark McGuire right over his shoulder, the bench coach of the Padres. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 for Asdrubal Cabrera.
There's that curveball we're talking about. It's worth another look. Not much you can do with that. As I mentioned before, if he makes contact, it's off the shin or it's in the Padre dugout. Tough to keep fair.
It feels like a great many curveballs. We'll see what the actual breakdown is.
59% fastballs, 26 breaking balls in the 15%. Probably the changeup.
Bouncing in, blocked there by Norris.
Yeah, I think it's really a situation here for James Shields that he's going to see if Cabrera will get out of the strike zone like he did the first pitch. 100 pitches on the night.
Yeah, plus you've got Villanueva up in the bullpen. You've got the right-handed hitting catcher Plawecki on deck. You got first base open. Hey, if he walks him here, it's really not the worst fate. I would think you got the double play in order. The infielders can back up a little bit.
Curveball misses that time downstairs.
And this might be his last hitter too.
Yeah. Pitch count, third time around. Probably Villanueva versus Plawecki, right? A service dog taken in a big league ball game.
Three-one pitch. Strike called. Wow, that was not all that close. Full count.
Thank you. It changes the whole at bat.
It does. As a hitter, you're almost in an automatic take because you're up there looking like a trophy. You know he's pitching around, and he ends up calling one off the plate. Now this could be a situation where that curveball comes back in play.
There it is, and he uses it to strike out Cabrera. Strikeout number 7, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 2 down.
You know, this had the looks of maybe, possibly a pitch around, but James Shields battles back. He gets a call off the plate, and then he goes to the hammer, which has been the tool in the toolbox all night that's been reliable for the strikeout.
Well, perfect scenario for James Shields. Plawecki also already had that double. You can pitch around him now with Bartolo Colon. Even if he had the home run, it doesn't matter. You got the pitcher up next. National League style baseball. This could be a benefit to Shields.
And they are just going to put him on. So Plawecki will be intentionally walked. It'll be the 5th walk for Shields, but the first of the intentional variety. And it'll be Bartolo Colon with a chance to do more damage. So there's ball 4. It is time now as Bartolo makes his way to the plate for the Bill Howe play of the game. And how about a 2-run home run, first of his career for Bartolo Colon.
Don, you mentioned it. He doesn't get cheated when he swings it, and he got a good pitch to hack at. And he got the silent treatment.
Whole team left the dugout. Went to the clubhouse, then returned.
I love that.
Seen so many swings over the years from Colon where his helmet flies off because he swings so hard. This time he made contact. We'll take a breaking ball for strike 1. Was baffled by the curveball of Shields back in the 4th inning and struck out after that home run. Taking another hack and down 0-2.
Got to throw him another one, don't you?
Absolutely.
There it is, and he strikes him out. 8 strikeouts for Shields. Matt Kemp is coming up to lead it off as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Mets have a 1-run lead.
And Super Mets fan Jim Brewer, what brings you out tonight?
7-Line Army. I just finished a tour in California. Last night I was at the Orpheum, and I mean, I went to Baltimore with these guys. They're a lot of fun. It's kids, it's families. I'm sure the Padres fans aren't very happy. They're very vocal, but they did get excited when the Padres got a 3-run homer. They were all turning back and like pointing. It was pretty funny.
Now, you had a sort of a podcast, was it, during the...
What I do is a Facebook post. So after every game, I would, as a fan, do a recap of the game, and it turned into complete madness.
So far, can you give us a recap of this game just now?
Right now, we call Bartolo Colon Baboom, which was a character with Felix the Cat. And tonight was history because Baboom hit a Baboom over the wall. Pure Met history. Bartolo Colon, and of course, Cespedes Fudge people knocking another dinger. So, but they're on our butts. I keep turning around. The Padres are right behind us. It's not over.
All right, they're creeping up on you guys. I'll let you turn around. I'll let you enjoy the game. Thank you so much, Jim Brewer, for being out here. We appreciate it. Guys, back to you.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. Well, Matt Kemp leading it off here for the Padres against Bartolo Colon. And this one grounded right into the shift. It is the second baseman, Neil Walker, who throws out Kemp. And we've seen the shift work so well for the Padres in this series. Now it works for the Mets the other way.
Nothing more frustrating for a hitter, Mark Sweeney, when you square up a ball and it's right into the shift.
Yeah, that's mentally tough, and you saw the reaction of Matt Kemp off the bat. This ball is absolutely scorched off the pitching mound. And positioned perfectly is Neil Walker for the easy out. But the frustrating run down to first base. How you deal with that mentally really comes into play.
One out here in the 6th inning. Brett Wallace will ground this down the line, and there to get it is Duda. He'll take it to the bag for the out. He was guarding that line. 2 down.
I don't know if we talked about this the other night, Mark, when you were in the booth, but are you for shift, anti-shift? Should it be outlawed, or do you like it the way it is? I like it the way it is.
I like it the way it is, too. And unfortunately, I'm going to side with the shifts as well, because I think it's going to happen in the minor leagues. Make the adjustment offensively. If you are a power hitter, hit the ball out of the building. But if you're a guy that's a specialized guy, you're going to have to hit the ball at all fields. Yeah. We're seeing John Jay do it in this series. We've complimented him. I think it's a compliment to all these hitters that go out there and they're not shifted upon. I think that tells you what they're all about. How about you?
I love the shift. I wish it happened more when I was playing.
Would it have helped?
I wouldn't be backing up third base all that often. Fewer visits to the fans over there by the third base coach's box.
So you're saying the outfield would have shifted a little bit more on you?
Yeah, in the stands.
Melvin Upton Jr. getting his 3rd look at Bartolo Colon with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Upton has struck out swinging. Last time up, flat out to the warning track. These guys are having a great time tonight here at the ballpark. Colon wanted that. Falls behind 2-1. John Jay with a 3-run home run with the Padres down 4-0 at the time. It is now 4-3, but Colon since then has shut the door on the Padres. That was back in the 3rd inning. There is a strike, and it evens at 2-2.
You know, guys, you think about how important it is for the Padres to come back here. Obviously winning the first 2 games of the series, but this is really the test. And coming back against a very talented club would be a huge boost for this Padre team.
Upton to center field. Cespedes coming in. That's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. A 2-out single for Melvin Upton keeps this 6th inning alive.
You know, Mark, I know you talk about hitters being quiet at the plate, not a lot of movement. And I'll tell you what, this breaking ball, it looked like a slider almost from Bartolo Colon. Let's see it. Yes, it is. And Melvin Upton Jr. stayed very quiet on that back. Great extension on the outer part of the plate. Getting the great wingspan on that one, getting extended. And the sound. Oh, that's got base knock written all over it. That's good hitting.
Melvin Upton Jr. at first base. 2 down. Alexei Ramirez. Throw to first and back to the bag safely is Upton.
Alexei still looking for that first home run for a Padre. Be nice in this situation.
Tonight we saw John Jay get his first home run in a Padres uniform.
Are you calling it, Mark Sweeney?
I think that's what it was. That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
Hey, why not? There's certain parts of the season where, you know, if you wear it out all the time, it doesn't really. But I like your.
Yeah, this was like the 8th time you did it, and it didn't happen. I'd say, yeah, okay. But I'm on board with this. Mark Sweeney has called a home run. Another check over at first base, and back is Upton. Good size lead for Upton at first base, extending into Tad.
You know, it's amazing. First 2 games, Padres win. DeGrom, Syndergaard, hard throwers. Now Colon out there, 88, 89, a little bit of movement. Sinker here, slider there. Totally different type pitcher.
There's a strike, and it evens at 1-1.
He loves to bring that pitch back on the outside corner to righties and into the lefties.
You know, Mark, to your point, it accentuates how much movement confuses hitters. Why Greg Maddux, when you hear it out of so many guys' voice, is how tough he was. It was the movement and how he created different angles.
I told you a lot of fastballs from him, and how's 89% feel? That's a lot.
9 out of 10 times you're going to get the heater, but it's the movement like Mark was talking about.
To left field as Conforto is out there waiting. He'll put it away to end the inning. So the Padres leave a base runner. We head to the 7th. It's 4-3 Mets. The Harrah's game summary and the long ball, a factor for both teams. It started with Yoenis Cespedes in the first, a 2-run shot with the Mets on top 2-0, and then the unexpected first home run for Bartolo Colon of his career. A 2-run home run put the Mets on top 4-0. They would disappear, then reappear to celebrate with their teammate, and John Jay's first home run in a Padres uniform. 3-run shot brings the Padres back within a run, and that's where we sit as we head here into the 7th inning. Colon, 6 innings. The 3 earned runs on the 3-run home run. James Shields giving up 4 runs in 6 innings pitched. John Jay with that 3-run home run, and Yoenis Cespedes with a 2-run home run now has 10 home runs on the year. Off to a fabulous start this year with the Mets. This pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Brad Hand into the game now for the Padres.
Even though the Padres trail by 1, this is a high leverage opportunity. High leverage situation for the lefty Brad Hand. His 14th game, a little high in the ERA. But you look at those splits. Got to get the righties out. He goes on the check swing there. So it's lefty, righty, lefty in this inning. Granderson right, Conforto. Brad doing well against left-handers, only hitting 190 off of Brad Hand. By the way, the home run, Bartolo Colon.
Yep.
Let's see if I get this right. The oldest player to hit his first major league home run at 42.
Right. No, he's 40. Yeah.
The oldest player to hit his first home run at 42. Randy Johnson was 40.
Now Wallace is going to go to the right side of the infield. The shift is changing here with the count 1-2. So with 2 strikes, Andy Green now switching the shift as Alexei Ramirez goes from where he was on the right side of the infield to the left, and Brett Wallace goes over. Personnel and the shift changing mid-count. Beautiful shot at a beautiful stadium. Petco Park in San Diego. Sun has set, kind of twilight right now here at Petco Park. Tough on the outfielders on fly balls. Swing and a miss for Granderson down by way of the K. 9 strikeouts for Padres pitching, 1 down.
This is one heck of a breaking ball from Brad Hand. Almost a slurvy type pitch, not a slider, not a curveball. So we call it a slurve. Most importantly, that's a strikeout.
1 out here in the 7th inning brings up David Wright, who would walk 3 times against James Shields tonight. Field straight away here on Wright. Line into center field, a base hit. Over to play quickly is Jay Wright aboard for the 4th time tonight.
Well, I mentioned the splits against righties for Brad Hand. The righties hitting .318. Now 8 for 23. And David Wright gets the fastball, and he's going to jump all over it. Sending it right back to center field. David Wright trying to avoid that breaking ball by jumping on that first pitch fastball.
1 out, 1 on. Michael Conforto, the batter. Shifting on the right side, but hoping for a double play, so they keep it tight to the infield. Conforto striking out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. All that was against James Shields tonight, getting his first look at Brad Hand. Grounded foul.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, but it's worth mentioning again. The Mets have grounded into the fewest double plays this year in the National League. So, hey, the home run's the big thing, the extra base hit. Brad Hand trying to work down and away, have him roll something over and possibly turn in 2 here.
Shields was able to get Cespedes to ground into the 6-4-3 double play back in the 3rd inning. There goes a runner at first. Pitches a strike. The throw is going to be not in time. A stolen base for Wright. Morris throwing from his knees, and Wright able to steal second base.
And off the left-hander. I mean, it's do or die. Why? Because if he lifts that leg and goes to first base and you commit, you get into a rundown or you continue on to second base. David Wright sees that foot lift up, and he is off with the stolen base.
1 out, Wright at second base. Conforto has struck out, walked, and struck out again. Down 1-2 right now. Lifts a pop-up into shallow left field. Out goes Ramirez. In comes Upton. And Upton takes care of out number 2. Cespedes making his way to the plate here to face Brad Hand again. You may remember that on Thursday, first game of the series, in the 9th inning, this home run. At the time, the Padres had a 5-0 lead, and Cespedes and the Mets made some serious noise trying to come back in the game and get back within 5-3 before Rodney shut the door on the Mets come from behind.
Might put him on here, huh?
Yeah, you got first base open, and they will. Second intentional walk for Padres pitching tonight.
You got the lefty Duda on deck. Hey, if he pitches Duda like he did Curtis Granderson, he went down the way of the K. Now there's a force at any base. At least try to work for a grounder. Hey, if you get to 2 strikes, then you go for the punch out.
Duda making his way up here. Duda has struggled against lefties, 0-59 against left-handed pitching.
And that plays right into the hand, no pun intended, with Brad Hand out there, because lefties, as I just mentioned, it's worth mentioning again, only hitting 119. 190, check that, 190.
2 outs, 2 on here for the Mets, on top by a run. Duda will take the strike.
Thank you.
Duda with a double his last time up, 1 for 3 night. Thought about it, holds off. And it's a ball and a strike. Thought he went.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss, and he's down 1-2. Now you thought he may have gone on the pitch before. Get a better look.
Is the previous pitch? I thought he went.
One and two.
If he hits it, it's a double.
Right.
Hey, he's got to stay down and away just like the previous pitches. Breaking ball right here.
Reaches out, protects the plate, fouls it off to the left, out of play.
Now, as a hitter, you have to be thinking that, don't you? So now it becomes a guessing game. Is he going to try to sneak the little piece of cheese by me? Is he going to throw another wrinkle up there? I say stay to the breaking ball because the hacks have not been good on that breaking ball. So don't try to get cute and try to throw a fastball by him right here. Unless maybe you elevate it up and out of the zone. Something that he can't do some damage with.
Did he go? No. Jerry Lane, third base umpire, says he did not. And it's 2-2.
Oh.
Two on, 2 down. 2-2 the count. Duda will foul it off to the left, out of play. He started Granderson striking out right, single. Stole second base. Conforto flied out to left and intentionally walked Yoenis Cespedes. So it's right at second. Cespedes at first. 2 down. 2-2 the count to Duda. On the outside corner for strike 3. Well, Hand comes up with a big hit pitch, and the Mets strand a pair. 7th inning stretch. Padres down by a run. presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by RCP Block and Brick. Start your outdoor project at rcpblock.com. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. Petco Park, the site of Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Mets and the Padres. Padres trailing by a run as they come to bat at the bottom of the 7th inning. Derek Norris, a 1-for-2 night, and a ringing single to center in the 3rd. Popped out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Goes the other way, this time with a base hit that starts the bottom of the 7th inning. Good start to this bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, we got action in the Mets bullpen, but Bartolo Colon missing with location, big time on that one. It's a two-seamer, and remember, he's not overpowering. So that two-seamer he wanted in, it's out, outer half, and Derek Norris now 2 for 3 tonight. That's good to see.
Lead runner on here for the Padres in the 7th inning. See that Henderson and Blevins up now for the Mets. 80 pitches for Colon. As Terry Collins looks on, Dan Worthen, his pitching coach. Alongside is Jamal Weeks squaring, and he will get it down. Look out, as falling down is Weeks, and he may have hurt himself. Weeks may have pulled something. He got about 2/3 of the way down the line, and down he went. They applied the tag on him as he was racing down there. It looked like he may reach on a base hit, but then he went down.
Right there, he pulls up.
What do you got, hamstring?
Tough to tell. Gonna have to wait and see. But judging by that, does he kind of grab?
He was in pain instantly. Norris into scoring position at second base. Pitcher's spot, and it's Jabari Blash. Blash will take strike 1. Strike 2. Blash in the hole here. Colon coming at him. Lopez spiraling off the backside was Colon.
You know, the one pitch that Colon has thrown tonight is that pitch, that fastball kind of up and away, that two-seamer that comes back. Let's see if he goes to Jabari Blash right here, 0-2.
Blash pops it up, foul ground. Duda going as far as he can towards the seats, but he won't have a play.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Jabari Blash pinch hitting here in the 7th inning. Tying run in scoring position for San Diego. Derek Norris is that tying run. Blash lays off, a pitch up. And Buchter now ready in the pen, as is Carlos Villanueva. Villanueva had been up earlier, back up again. Brad Hand, who pitched his way through the 7th inning, is being hit for here by Blash.
breaking ball.
Outside corner for strike 3. Second out of the 7th inning. That is the 5th strikeout of the night for Bartolo Colon.
Well, I guessed wrong as well. That was a two-seamer away. Two-seamer, bringing it back, just as I mentioned before, but not that particular pitch. I thought he was going to maybe put a wrinkle in one. Consistently away, once up and out of the zone, and then that is paint on the outside corner. That's a good pitch.
That is the night for Bartolo Colon, who departs. With 2 down here in the 7th inning to the pen, go the Mets, the pitching change from Petco Park in San Diego. 4-3, Mets on top.
Injury update for you guys. Unfortunately, no information as of yet on Jamal Weeks. We just saw him go down on the base path. Hopefully I should have that by the end of the game or for the post game. But when it comes to 4 Padres players currently on the disabled list, all 4 are going to be headed out to Arizona to begin more formal baseball activity. When it comes to relievers Edwards and Thornton, they're going to be ready to face some hitters soon and take some live BP, get a little acclimated into some extended play, and hopefully get into some games. Also, Solarte and Amarista running, taking some ground balls, and also getting those rehab starts. Guys?
All right, Julie, thanks very much. John Jay facing the new lefty, Jerry Blevins, who breaks a curveball out on him and jumps ahead 0-1. Derek Norris at second base, 2 down here in the 7th inning. 294 against lefties for Jay, not a problem. On the outside corner that time, and it's 0-2. John Jay has already contributed tonight a 3-run home run, supplying the Padres with all of their runs.
Boy, he did a nice job of getting his hands through and sending it on its way for the 3-run shot.
Now a chance to tie this game. Norris at second base with 2 down. In the dirt, and it is 1-2. Norris started this inning with a single to right. Malone was able to get Weeks. Ruled a sacrifice bunt that allowed Norris to get to second base, and then he struck out Jabari Blash, the pinch hitter, looking. Blevins looks out there, the tying run in Norris. Stretching in preparation of running. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Jay strikes out. So Blevins comes in and gets the big strikeout. Exactly what he wanted to do. Terry Collins had this in mind. It's 4-3 Mets.
Mark, everybody, it's a 4-3 Mets lead right now at the top of the 8th. Mark and I are working on the post-game show for you, and you think you want to get to a bullpen, and some teams you do. The Mets, maybe not so much.
Well, great night by Bartolo Colon. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, what do you
but
say?
the Mets bullpen has been outstanding. 2.59 ERA, best in the National League. They have their work cut out for them tonight.
All right, we'll see what happens after the final out, though. Be sure to catch us. We're going to have an injury update for you on Jamal Weeks, let you know what the club plans to do beyond that. Also take you around baseball for some highlights, and you're going to hear from the manager, Andy Green, ahead of tomorrow's Game 4. Let's get you back up to Don Orsillo and Mark Grant, guys.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. We play along here to the 8th inning, and the Padres will use their third pitcher of the night. Carlos Villanueva comes into the game.
Well, not a hard thrower, but got to hit his spots. You see the splits there in the short time he's been in the games, and ERA over 5. This being his 12th game. Look at the walks. Very few walks. Almost a strikeout per inning for the veteran right-hander.
Walker leading it off here for the Mets. And with a shift on, lifts a fly ball to right. Kemp is out there in perfect position for the first out here of the 8th inning. Adam Rosales has taken over at second base, with Jamal Weeks leaving this game with an injury. As Drupal Cabrera coming up now for New York. And a double back in the 4th inning over the shift. He's also grounded out and struck out. Padres shifting on him again. Rosales and Ramirez on the right side. Brad Hand went an inning, giving up a hit. No runs. He walked a batter. It was intentionally, and struck out 2. Padres pitching tonight between 8 strikeouts from Shields and 2 from Hand, with 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, just a couple of pitches, right, Don? Pitch to Cespedes for the 2-run shot, and the pitch to Colon, but that's what happens in this game of baseball. It can boil down to 1 or 2 pitches.
Strike call.
Hey, very liberal for both sides, I have to say.
Especially that side.
Down and away to the righties, or the lefties, rather. Yeah. And it's been consistent both ways.
Hunter Whittlestead calling the balls and strikes tonight. Strike 2, battling back nicely Villanueva.
Good 2-seamer from Carlos. That ball looked like it was going to end up in the inner part of the plate, but right down the middle.
Well, 2 strikes. The shift changes again. Wallace going from third to the right side now.
You know why I think that is? Because now with 2 strikes, a little bit more defensive. If he goes the other way, Ramirez at short has more range. He can cover more range over there at short. Early in the count, maybe be aggressive. You've got Alexei Ramirez on the second base side. So they flip with 2 strikes. Nice wipe away pitch right there.
Villanueva picks up his first K, the 11th strikeout for Padres pitching in the game. 2 down in the 8th, and here's Kevin Plawecki.
Padre fans and Warrior fans hanging out.
Strike on the outside corner. Cued a foul off the end of the bat. Lots of spin. Well, tomorrow the finale of this 4-game series between the Mets and Padres, and another very good pitching matchup tomorrow. Matt Harvey matched up against Andrew Cashner. Harvey so far 2-4. Cashner 2-2. 1 o'clock. We'll get you started. Finale of the homestand as well for San Diego. Here's a liner to left. Upton going back, and it's going to be over his head and 1 hop the wall. Upton plays the carom very well. Throw to second base. Plawecki will be safe as he gets in there on the head first slide. That got out there in a hurry on a line up over Upton very quickly. And Plawecki has got himself a 2-out double.
And this is one of those situations where you really had to keep your pen on your scorecard and kind of hold your breath, because we know that Melvin Upton Jr. has been playing a great left field. Okay, he can't catch it. Now he plays the carom. Now watch the arm and the accuracy. The race is on. Off the bag a little bit. Plawecki stays on the bag. He realizes the arm, but just off a little bit is the difference in that play.
So 2 down, Plawecki at second base, and Alejandro De Aza is going to pinch it here in the pitcher's spot. So Jerry Blevins out of the game, got his job done. Came in to face the lefty and John Jay and struck him out. De Aza trying to obtain some insurance here for the Mets as they bat in the top of the 8th. Addison Reed getting ready in the pen for the Mets. That pen is so tough for New York.
You know, they've got 2 or 3 guys out there that can close if needed.
Yep.
I mean, Addison Reed.
Reed's done it in the past.
He's done it. You know what I like? I saw the other night, Robles.
Yes.
Hansel Robles. Live arm for Terry Collins.
Strike 2.
Infielders are diving, getting dirty, preventing that ball to go to the outfield to prevent another run being scored.
De Aza, the swing and a foul at the plate. One for 9 as a pinch hitter this year with 3 strikeouts is De Aza. Coming off the bench again here to pinch hit. This time in the 8th inning in a 1-run game. A potential insurance run out there at second base in Plawecki. De Aza hits it on the ground, right side. Rosales, little bobble, but he throws to first for the out. That ends the inning. So the Mets lead Plawecki at second base. The Padres trailing by a run coming up. Will Myers, Matt Kemp, and Brett Wallace, they'll be coming up. First, it'll be Myers when we come back. Padres and Mets play into the last half of the 8th inning. It'll be Myers, Kemp, and Wallace coming up, and dealing with the new Mets pitcher Addison Reed into the game.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Addison Reed has some closing experience, so he's trying to close it out here in the 8th with a 1-run lead. 16th game. See the splits there. He's pretty much a 3-pitch pitcher: fastball, slider, changeup. So hopefully the Padres, looking to come back and be victorious by Panic at the Disco, which means that Don Orsillo is hitting the dance floor. That's Panic at the Disco. Watch out.
Will Myers lead it off here in the last half of the 8th. 0-for-3 in the game to this point. A swing and a miss, trying to launch right there.
First pitch slider. Addison Reed is going to average about 93, and the guys we're talking about earlier, ERAs, National League leaders. Look at that, the Mets with the lowest at 2.69.
Reed quickly ahead, 0-2. 19 blown saves since 2013, second most to Chinichi Tozawa. There's a ground ball right side. Walker arranging to his left. And Myers is the first out of the last of the 8th. Well, this is one of those cases here. If you take a look at this inning and the way it is constructed, you got Myers, Kemp, and Wallace. The 8th inning is tougher than the 9th inning, and maybe the save is right here.
Absolutely, no question about it. Good call, Don. We mentioned that the other day. And you talk even to one of the greatest of all time, Trevor Hoffman. He would be the first one to say that. I need to give the thanks to the guys in the 7th and 8th innings that set it up for me to maybe it was a 1-run deficit or maybe even tied. They held it, and then my club scored in the bottom of the 8th, 3 or 4 run, or to go out there with a 3 or fewer run deficit or lead.
So foul back to the screen,
and then he ends up getting the save thanks to the guys in the bullpen.
Kemp looking for his first hit of the night. Lined out to third, struck out swinging, grounded out to second base. Strike call. Kemp was jumping back out of the way, ended up grabbing that inside corner. Send it down to Julie.
Hey guys, well, injury update for you. I am being told by Padres officials that it's a right hamstring strain for Jemile Weeks, who went down last inning in the bottom of the 7th. He came off the field with help. That is a right hamstring strain for Jemile Weeks.
Okay, Julie, thanks very much. 0-2 pitch, and Kemp with an emergency swing fouls it off. And the Padres already have 8 players on the DL. And Jemile Weeks here with a series of injuries to infielders for the Padres, and now perhaps he may end up on the DL.
You ever pulled a hammy?
I have not, fortunately.
It hurts. It is like somebody is sticking you right back there in the hamstring with a knife.
It plays off, and it's 1-2. Revisit the keys to the game tonight.
Well, one was jump on the fastball from Bartolo Colon, and with the way the Padres have been hitting, yeah, John Jay jumped all over a fastball for a home run. Saw that earlier. And then the other one was what's called a tease.
Just a taste.
Yeah.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Kemp up over the top, strikes out, back-to-back Ks for Addison Reed. 2 down.
Six hits off Bartolo Colon. Jay being the big one, the 3-run shot, jump on the fastball, and the Gold Glove defense returned 1 double play tonight and no miscues. Boy, all the runs tonight via the home run.
Well, the keys to the game brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Brett Wallace. The shift on the right side. Wallace fouling it off to the left. 95 on the gas for Addison Reed. 19 strikeouts in his last 12 innings coming in. And he has struck out the first 2 batters that he's faced here in the 8th inning. Look out. Fastball up by the chin. Time now to check out the Cholula flamethrower.
With Addison Reed on the hill and the score on his jersey, 4-3, 95. Yeah, that's hot, spicy.
And on the hands for strike 2. Is grounded out to third, walked, and grounded out to first. Close pitch, called the ball. 3-2 the count. Outfield very deep.
No doubles.
Wallace lifts it in the air to shallow center. In comes Cespedes, and he won't get it. Wallace will stay at first base as Cespedes mentioned how deeply the outfield was playing, and Cespedes didn't get the best jump on that. And fooled on the swing, I think, and then came in and could not make the catch.
Yeah, good call, Don, because the outfielder's playing very deep. No doubles defense, nothing over their head. The only thing over their head is going to be a homer. And a long run. Does he draw leather? Yes, he did. So that's a great effort by Cespedes. And for San Diego, they get another crack at it with 2 outs and a base runner.
Wallace on with 2 down. Melvin Upton Jr. coming up. Struck out in the 2nd, flied out to the warning track and left in the 4th. Single to center in the 6th inning. Against Addison Reed, some success. 2 home runs, as a matter of fact. In the air, down the right field line. Foul ground, and that's where it will stay, in the seats. Two down, Wallace at first base, held on over there by Duda. Upton fouls it back and finds himself down 0-2.
High fastball.
Upton lines it into right center field. Wallace will touch second, head for third base as it's gathered by Cespedes. The tying run 90 feet away now for the Padres. So Upton taking it the other way into right center field and keeps us alive in the 8th inning.
That is a great at-bat by Melvin Upton Jr. So Addison Reed, that's a good pitch to turn on middle in. Fastball, going up the ladder. And I'll tell you what, very calm swing. You can almost see in that swing, trying to take it the other way, not trying to pull it. And Don, you mentioned it, the success of Melvin Upton Jr. against Addison Reed, and the numbers continue to pile up for Melvin Upton Jr. against the righty.
So it is up to Alexei Ramirez. This crowd of better than 41,000 at 41,028. Strike one. Alexei tonight is grounded to short, fouled out to the shortstop Cabrera, flied out to left, 0 for 3. Strike call. 94 and at the knees.
That's P's at the knees.
Tying run 90 feet away. 0-2 pitch. Runner goes at first. A swing and a miss. And Ramirez strikes out. So Addison Reed with a big strikeout. Reed has been striking out a lot of people. And this strikeout ends the rally for the Padres. The ninth inning. It's time now for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. Let's take a look at the last couple of games for John Jay. Well, this 12 at bats, 5 hits in the last 3. And of course, tonight the 3-run home run.
Yeah, we talked about him in our pregame show and our open before the ball game started, and not only doing it with the wood, but also doing it with the leather, all around. John Jay.
Now Curtis Granderson coming up here for the Mets to lead it off. He's quite a stretch here. He has reached base safely in 37 consecutive road games. It dates back to August of 2015, the longest active streak in the major leagues. He has not been aboard in the game tonight. Bats for the 5th time and takes strike one. Villanueva out there for his 2nd inning of relief. On the ground into the shift right side. It's Rosales at short right. Got to hurry, and he gets it there in time. Ends up being a long throw when you're out there in short right field. And Granderson still with pretty good speed down the line is retired. One out for David Wright, who has been on base 4 times tonight, walking 3 times and singling. Also has a stolen base in the ball game tonight.
Stay tuned after the Padres come back and win this one. Padres Live, the postgame show. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney going to break it down and tell you how the Padres came back and won it. That and much, much more. How do you like them apples?
Familia is up in the pen, the Mets closer. Breaking ball in the dirt. Eight saves, tied for 9th in the majors. In the air to deep left field. That ball is gone. David Wright with his 4th home run of the year. The Mets obtain some insurance here in the top of the 9th.
Well, it's a 2-0 fastball, two-seamer that just leaks right down the heart of the plate. And David Wright, not so many fastballs like that you can sneak by him, especially a 2-0 count. So the Mets adding on.
So the Mets on top 5-3, getting an extra run here in the top of the 9th. Michael Conforto takes the strike over the outside corner.
David Wright doesn't miss too many pitches like that.
High drive, deep right field. Conforto has taken it out of the yard. His 5th home run of the year. Let's go back to back and now take a 6-3 lead. Fourth home run of the game for New York. Yeah, powered up in this one.
That again was a two-seam fastball. Going right into the orange shirts.
Cespedes, who has one of the home runs tonight, his came back in the 1st inning. Cespedes with a 2-run shot now has 10 on the year. Padres had the tying run at 3rd base with 2 down in the 8th inning, but could not score it. And the Mets have answered here with 2 additional runs so far in the top of the 9th inning. Home runs by David Wright and Michael Conforto. Ball 4 and Cespedes down to 1st base. 2nd time that he has walked in the game.
Getting to sound like a soccer match out there in right field. Once again, Padres Live postgame show. You're going to hear from manager Andy Green and Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney. Going to break this one down as Mr. Met makes an appearance.
One out, 2 runs in for the Mets here in the 9th. Cespedes at 1st base after the walk. Balls are making a visit out there. Lucas Duda coming up here now for New York.
Well, you're hoping Villanueva gets out of this because the pitcher spot is due up 3rd for the Padres.
Into his 2nd inning of relief as he was able to work the 8th inning. Gave up a 2-out double to Plawecki before getting De Aza to ground out, and now there's action. Perdomo getting up here for the Padres. To center field, John Jay makes the catch out there for the 2nd out of the inning. And back to 1st goes Cespedes, 2 down here in the 9th. Bring up Neil Walker.
Wearing the collar tonight, Neil Walker. 0 for 4.
He's flied out, grounded out twice, and flied out again. Lined into the shift, Rosales in short right. His throw in plenty of time to end the inning. Wright and Conforto go back-to-back with home runs. It's now 6-3 New York. The Carl's Jr. star of the game. How about Bartolo Colon? 2-run home run for Colon. And Bartolo goes 6 2/3. Teammates departing initially, then returning to help celebrate.
That was pretty funny. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen giving rookies the silent treatment.
I've never seen everybody leave the dugout, though. That's a first for me,
That's
too.
a first.
Well, the Padres have Norris, Rosales, and the pitcher spot due up here in the bottom of the 9th inning, now trailing by 3. Familia into the game. 8 for 8 so far in save opportunity. High numbers on the splits, 296 on each.
Yeah, and he's pretty much a 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, splitter, and he can get it up there. 93's been clocked at 100. He averages about 97. He's got that split finger fastball.
Last year finished 3rd in the majors with 43 saves. Tied the club's single season save record with Armando Benitez.
And this is what Terry Collins will do late in the game. Will put Juan Lagares there in center field. And he'll move Cespedes over to left.
Derek Norris leading it off here in the 9th. 2-hit night tonight for Norris. Single to center in the 3rd, popped out to short in the 4th, and single to right in the 7th.
Unbelievable. All 9 runs tonight have come via the home run.
That is incredible. Padres getting a 3-run home run by John Jay. Cespedes, Colon, Wright, and Conforto, the 4 home runs tonight for New York.
There's that 2-seamer from Familia. He'll mix in the 4-seamer, but that 2-seamer's got good run with velocity. And then the old split finger when he's ahead.
Got 57 career saves. Norris chopping and foul, staying alive.
Alex Dickerson, the lefty, waiting on deck. Rally caps can't hurt. Padres fans hoping for some action here in the ninth.
Familia taking a long time. Norris requests time and backs out. Post pitch there.
Hey, we got some free-range chicken here at the yard. He bought a ticket. Two-seamer in right here, I'll bet.
Norris fouls it off.
Look at the consistency of Familia on Fox Tracks.
All same spot.
He is just peppering that zone down around the knees.
Last one at 96. In the air to right field. Curtis Granderson's out there, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the ninth inning. So Norris is retired, and that'll bring up Alex Dickerson. One for three so far, appearing in 3 games so far this year with the Padres. On the ground, right side. Walker arranging to his left. Throws out Dickerson, and the Padres are down to their last out. Rosales coming up here. With 2 down in the ninth. Trying to pick up his 9th save of the year. Ball 1. Madison Reed worked the 8th inning. Gave up 2 hits. Allowed no runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 2. Tap foul, and it evens at 1-1. The Padres taking the first 2 games of this 4-game series, trailing right now by 3 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Strike 2. Two down in the last of the ninth. Rosales down in the count, 1-2. Ball 2, 2-2. That one at 97 from Familia.
'96, '97 with movement, and then you have to have that splitter in the back of your mind as well. Fastball away right here.
Rosales strikes out. And the ball game is over as the Padres have dropped their first game of this 4-game series. Final score again, 6-3. We'll step aside.